nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, please remain standing for a brief moment of silence. Thank you. I considered for a second asking Dan to lead the pledge. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Here.
Commissioner Vogler?
Here.
Commissioner Boyd?
Here. Row officer reports and comments. Looking out in the audience today, we have no row officers or representatives thereof. Public comments. Do we have any member of the public wishing to make comment? Seeing none, move on to fiscal and contractual. We have no repository properties, no advertising bids or proposals, no receipt of bids or proposals. We do have warrant registers from October 25 and October 24. I'll give my colleagues a minute to check those over and take a motion to approve the warrant registers.
So moved.
I will second, and I'll note that Vanessa was kind enough to email me the agenda, so I was able to look these over. So I'll certainly offer the second to Loretta's motion.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. The motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Up next, we have the minutes from Tuesday, October 25, 2022. Again, give my colleagues a minute to check those over and take a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
I will second.
Thank you. Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have no presentation of written communications. Staff reports. Any member of staff have anything to report above and beyond that's already on the agenda? Seeing none, we have commissioner reports and comments. Loretta, you're on deck first. This one's yours.
Nothing this morning, thank you.
Absolutely. I'm on deck next. The only thing I'll note is I am coming almost done with the second pass at the budget. As has been indicated over the course of the last year and a half, this is going to be a rough one. Right now, we're probably looking at $1 million gap that we're going to need to fill, both due to inflationary pressures and due to market concerns. The market has taken a downturn over the course of the last year, which has caused our retirement contribution to significantly increase. But we're going to have to button down and make some tough decisions and consider every option to give our county residents and our county taxpayers a balanced budget. But we'll do more on that once it's preliminarily completed. Dan.
No, thank you. I have nothing else today.
All right. Up next, we have new business CYS resolution, discussion possible approval to enter an agreement with Terry O'Hara, PhD. Vanessa, what resolution might this be?
356.
356. Mike, how you doing, Dad?
I'm doing great. I'm doing real simple.
You're the best.
Thank you.
Kind of spells it out, the reason that, it spells it out the reason that we need him, for parental capacity evaluation, bonding assessments, and termination of parental rights. And the reason is that we just have, the one that we use is limited availability.
Okay.
So we're just trying to get a couple in hand, and just in case we need to use them. That's basically what we have.
Questions, comments for Mike?
No.
No.
I'll take a motion to approve 356.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Thanks, Mike.
Okay.
Up next, we have Vanessa Lovely with LC with Axe. I always get the three. I know you guys have three. I always have to think for a second which one it is.
Alphabet soup.
There you go.
Just like everything.
As long as you guys understand it, I take the lead, yeah.
Usually, not always, but good morning.
How you doing?
Good.
Good.
Thank you for having me here today. I'm here to request your consideration to extend the senior nutritional shopping program through the end of 2022. During COVID, my timeline of coming to see you all sort of was interrupted, due to low trips and whatnot. So, we've continued providing the senior nutritional program all along, but now we're seeing more folks wanting to leave their homes and get out and about and go to the grocery store. So today we're asking for $4,635.77 to get us through the rest of 2022. Full disclosure, the program is a bit at a deficit right now. We were providing trips all along and a little miscommunication between our fiscal departments, and I should have come a few months ago. But the 4,635 should provide us with 2,600 trips to over 140 unduplicated passengers. And these folks would be 65 years of age or older, Lawrence County residents traveling to a grocery store, farmer's market, or food pantry within Lawrence County. And the program allows them to pay $1 per trip. That way they can obtain fresh groceries and groceries more often. Prior to this wonderful program, people would maybe only want to go once or twice a month. And if you go that infrequent, you're not going to have fresh produce and milk and things like that. So the program is very well received, and we would like your consideration to continue that.
Absolutely. Frank was just yelling at me over the maintenance lounge for not supporting our seniors enough, so I'm walking over right after this meeting's done and slapping this resolution right down in front of him.
Okay.
No, we're certainly happy to support
Definitely.
our senior residents here in Lawrence County and appreciate the service that you guys provide for them. Questions,
And it's
comments?
been that kind of a year that you have to be able to switch direction, change direction, modify direction to get the ultimate goal accomplished. So I have no issue with that whatsoever.
Here's
Absolutely not.
the other thing I'll note is that the service in terms of getting seniors access to food was still being provided, but due to COVID, it was being provided through the TEAMS program
Right.
versus the Senior Citizen Nutritional Shopping Program. It solves the same public policy objective. During COVID, we brought the food to them. Now that we're coming out of COVID, we're bringing them to the food.
Right, yes, absolutely.
Dan, questions from you?
Nope, I'm fine, thank you.
Take a motion to approve 357, and we can take this out of our community development line item.
So moved.
Second?
Motion is second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you, Vanessa. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you,
Very
Vanessa.
much.
358. We voted on this previously as the Board of Elections. This is voting on it as the Board of Commissioners. In county government, there's a significant and substantial division of duties. Those duties sometimes overlap. This is one of those instances. But the Elections Board approved the policy of paying our poll workers, our elections temporary workers. With this fee schedule, the Board of Commissioners now has to appropriate that funding and officially approve the county treasurer's office and the county controller's office to process these funds. So this is just a clerical thing, already been approved by the Board of Elections, which right now is the 3 commissioners. Next year, it most likely won't be. But any questions, comments on that?
None.
No.
I'll take a motion to approve 358.
So moved.
Second?
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Thank you. Motion carries. I said yes.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah. It's a week for me. It's a week for me. 359, now we get to the budget amendments section of our circus. Bless you, Debbie, hopefully it's not COVID. CYS got a new grant called Critical Commodities, and we are increasing our revenue by $5,000 and increasing the expense account related to that Critical Commodities grant by $5,000. Again, this is just a new grant, a small new grant that came in for our children and youth agency, and we've got to adjust the budget to allow it to be fixed. Bless you.
Thank you.
Questions, comments on this?
No.
Take a motion.
So moved.
I will second.
The motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Steelvogel,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Got that one right. We got 360, same thing, critical commodities. This is going for juvenile probation and CYS. Again, their functions often overlap. They share different grant streams together. They appropriate their funds sometimes together. So we're increasing the JPO section of that by $8,000, again, a revenue and corresponding expense account for that critical commodities. Questions, comments?
No.
Hearing none, I will take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
A motion secondly for discussion. Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Steelvogel,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. 361. This is, again, a clerical resolution approving monies to be transferred out of the ARPA account and into the county general fund as allowed under the American Rescue Plan Act. In the amount of $2,942,613, and for posterity's sake, 27 cents.
No rounding up.
No.
Okay.
No federal grant money every time.
Specific.
Questions, comments on that? I will take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Steelvogel,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. 362, moving some money over to Russo's to cover some material and supply overages from the court interpreter budget. They haven't been utilizing those interpreters as much as we had initially anticipated. They've got some funding there to cover the $1,200 needed to get Russo through the year for his materials and supplies. Questions, comments?
No.
No.
Hearing none, I'll take a motion on 362.
So moved.
I will second.
The motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Steelvogel,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Up next, we have another courts transfer, 363, moving some money from APO's contingency into court subscriptions. Unfortunately, the cost of those subscriptions has risen, and the law library needs at least some of them to appropriately function. So, any questions on that?
No.
I'll take a motion to approve 363.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Steelvogel,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. 364, just moving some more money around in Russo's office from the courts to cover some end of year expenditures. Again, due to the move of that office, the finances there have been a little bit in flux, but we'll have them all sorted out for next year now that we know what actual numbers and what we're paying. So I'll take a motion on 364.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Steelvogel,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Up next, assessments, moving $12,000 into office major and office minor equipment from their contract services. And the reason for that is they're purchasing a new copier and a new laptop for some field work. They have the money in their budget, and we're not, this isn't coming from any of our contingencies. This is what happens when you don't go over on your budget. You're able to get some stuff. You're able to do things at the end of the year. That's just some of the parts of our departments who don't quite seem to grasp that concept. But anyway, that's the first one. And up next, this is MHDS, as I've gone over a couple of times. Due to our block grant model, we're able to move money around to where it's needed. Human services needs vary in the county, which as a result causes monies to need to be moved at the end of the year. We might have thought we needed to do more intellectual development, when in reality we need to do more base mental health or drug and alcohol services, depending on the needs of the community. This is just moving $16,000 from MH admin management over into drug and alcohol. Questions, comments on those transfers?
No.
No.
All right, hearing none, I'll take a motion for administrative transfers A through C.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion second for discussion. Hearing none. Question on motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. No ordinance on the table for adoption for final action. Next commissioners meeting will be on Tuesday, November 15th. I'll note that's 2 weeks from now because the election is a week from today. which is the next announcement. There will not be a commissioners meeting on Tuesday, November 8th due to Election Day. There will be a planning commission meeting on Wednesday, November 9th at 12 o'clock noon down at the Elwood Historical Society. The Board of Elections will be meeting on Monday, the 7th, to officially open the election, and will be in session throughout the duration of the 8th. Is there anything in terms of announcements that I'm missing?
The Board of Elections, does that meeting begin at 10 a.m.?
Give me 1 second, I can check. Vanessa says it does.
Vanessa says it does.
Thank you.
Any additional public comments? Seeing none, Lawrence County Board of Commissioners is adjourned. Dan, enjoy the rest